What's up, lads? I'm just here to kind of yap for a little bit. So if anybody's interested in listening to that, we are going to be running a new poll for the Neon Genesis replacements, which I'll get into and talk about a little bit later. And we have poll results, which I guess is the first thing that I'll talk about for when we get into our next show for our new Kyoani slot. I say new, but literally existing slot, just new series that's kind of in it. So as you see on your screen, this is kind of where things are. They've been sitting roughly around this for the past couple days whenever I check, so it seems like all momentum's kind of stopped up to this point. So next show we're gonna end up doing is Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. So everybody who voted for that, congratulations on your efforts for it, and that'll start I don't know, probably beginning of July, I think. Unfortunately, you guys got to wait a little bit. I have a little surprise for some people in the Kyoani slot come end of Nichijou, but some of you might not care for it at all. Some of you might not be excited. Some of you might be, but you know, you can probably guess kind of what it is. We're not going to say it, but you can probably guess what it is. That's completely done and ready to go up though. So that'll continue onwards with what we're doing there. Haruhi made a pretty strong case, I would say. While Amagi came back a bit, you know, coming up to 16% here is pretty powerful for it. Haruhi's still a decent amount of votes, I would say, ahead. So likely, I don't know for certain, yes, don't get your hopes up too much, but I think we might just do Haruhi's after Dragon Maid and not run another poll. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now. And then we'll kind of run a poll and let the other three fight themselves out. One of you brought up in the comments about how I need to watch Haruhi before Lucky Star, which was not something I was really aware of. So assuming that is the case, it might be better just to kind of get that out the way as well. And considering it was in second by a decent margin, I would say, we might just go ahead and end up doing that, and then we'll let the other three kind of run out, and hopefully we can get a bunch of that stuff done. Right now we're running the Kyoani stuff on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Things are going to change. We're going to introduce a third poll at some other point. It's going to be post 2010 stuff, so anything 2010 and later. And the next poll, which is the Neon Genesis replacement, is basically everything from 2010 or before 2010 that aired, and we're going to be watching that kind of next. So right now that stuff's on Tuesday, Thursday. Kyoani stuff is on Wednesday, Saturday, depending on how the new season shapes out when we start in the summer. I will decide kind of what days are going to work best for us to kind of have everything align themselves. Likely it'll be like in an order though, you know, so it'll be like 1 2 3 1 2 3 is kind of what we're going to end up doing. I don't know if it's going to be 6 days in a row or like 3 break 3. I mean, I guess realistically that ends up making it 6 days depending on when you want to start your week, but we'll kind of work on that, and I'll update exactly what days and stuff for a bunch of you who are very curious exactly where we are headed with the dates, because I know some people like having schedules and stuff and understanding when to expect things. So I will kind of fill you in the best I can after I have a stronger idea of what day the certain shows that I plan to watch throughout the summer actually are. What you see on your screen right now is the pre-2010 poll that we're doing for the Neon Genesis replacement. It's going to consist of 5 different series, as all of our polls kind of do, with that being Black Lagoon, Cowboy Bebop, Gurren Lagann, Serial Experiments Lane, and Welcome to the NHK. My knowledge of literally every single one of these series is basically zero. I just know that some of them are very much appreciated, of course, amongst fans, and that they all came out before 2010. So there's really nothing for me to add on to that. I was trying to keep it shorter. I wasn't trying to, I toyed around with a couple other series, but I was trying to not do them because they're all like 40 to 60 episodes or something. And I kind of don't want that. I kind of just want to do things that are like 24 to or 12 to 26 or something, and then maybe a movie involved. And I think that's kind of the limit of really where I want to go right now, at least. And then as we kind of expand and we kind of whittle down some of our options a little bit more, and I feel I'm ready for it, we'll start doing a longer and bigger series. But I also don't want the entire channel and stuff to get consumed to that. And I think where we're at right now, it might be better to do some shorter series before we start, you know, filling up our time only doing long series, because then that kind of makes it a little bit harder for newer people to come in and find the series, because we're not starting as many new ones over time and stuff, if that makes sense. That's kind of at least where my head is at. So keeping it limited at least to things roughly around this length, I think is the appropriate thing for us to kind of go into. I really have no no horse in this. I gotta be honest. I don't really care. You'll see on the post 2010s, I won't talk about it, but there's definitely like certain ones I'd really prefer if they win or don't. But this one I really do not care. There's nothing, like I don't know anything about any of them. I have a pretty strong suspicion of what's going to end up winning this, and we'll see if I'm right, and I'll talk about that come update video possibly when we end up posting the 2010 poll. I have zero clue when that's going to go up to, by the way. I don't know. That series, whatever it is, won't actually be posted or started until July as well, I guess. So realistically, that one, I probably won't post that poll until towards the end of June. At the time of me filming this too, right now, I'm done with Neon Genesis except for the rebuilds, which I actually started to watch, and we have a couple more of those to go, but I'm basically done with those. So whatever the series is will be up probably towards the end of June. You have basically a week to kind of vote on it, get your votes in. Good luck for whatever you kind of want to win. Feel free to use this video too as like a feedback, leave anything that you kind of want future for me to react to, whether it's on the present kind of day poll, whether it's on the before 2010 poll, whatever it is, just even if it doesn't fit into either of those, which realistically I don't know actually how that would work. It has to fit within one of the two categories, but you can kind of leave it down below and it'll be good for future recommendations and understandings. Also, this poll, depending on how it is, like if there's two of them that are neck and neck, we'll probably just do them back to back, and it depends too, like if something like Lane ends up winning, I think is only 12 episodes, we'll probably go ahead and do whatever comes in second afterwards, just because it almost makes sense. It's not that long. I don't really want to have to run two polls like a couple weeks apart. It just doesn't really make too much sense for me to do so. So I think that we'll just end up kind of keeping it along that lines. And if it isn't, and it feels like we have a pretty significant blowout and whatever it is, we'll run another one again afterwards. That's all I got. I don't really have any other updates or anything else for me to go in and say congrats to everybody who voted for Dragon Maid. Good luck to everybody who has a strong candidate that they really want to win here for the pre-2010 poll and the Neon Genesis replacement, and hopefully you win. Best of luck there, I would say. I will see you probably in another week. I'll probably do an update for this, or another week or two. Whenever the 2010 poll comes out, I'll do an update on this as well, and we'll talk about that a little bit, and if anything interesting kind of comes out of the statistics themselves, I'll talk about them. So thank you very much. If you watch this video, leave recommendations and stuff. Definitely will mean a lot. And congrats to everybody else, and good luck to everybody else who's involved too. See you very soon for whatever ends up winning, and hopefully see some of y'all very soon. I say very soon, it's going to be in another month for Dragon Maid. Peace.